I need to get my bag together. What do YouTubers do when they need to get a bag together? That's right, we're going to have a look at what's in my bag. Hello folks and welcome to today's vlog. Today's vlog is going to be a low-key vlog, a calm before the storm vlog. I go to Summer in the City early tomorrow morning. We're there for 3 days. I'm taking Lucy and Amy. It's going to be a very, very busy weekend. But because we've also had Blackpool scheduled in for next week now, which is fantastic, don't for a second think that this is me complaining, but it's basically left me with today and then at most 2 days next week to fit all of the video production for my gaming channel in that I need to do for like the next 10 days. Because we already had some other stuff planned for next week as well. So what would normally be 5-6 days work squashed down into 2.5 days plus packing to go away means I'm spending most of my day in there, which is fine because outside is all rainy and horrible. Ugh. Andy, look at this. Look, that's at Legoland.
Yeah, shall we go?
It's a new sensory room. Does it look good? Look at those.
Yeah.
Does it look good?
Yeah.
Awesome.
Hello folks and welcome to today's vlog.
There you go. Andy's going to welcome you halfway through. Confession time, I haven't had a chance to record anything today really. It is, it's 8 o'clock, 10 past 8 in the evening. I've done like 4 or 5 Football Manager videos today to try and get myself set up so that I've got them sorted for the rest of the week while I'm at Summer in the City, but also next week because we're in Blackpool next week for 3 days. We're also going to be going to Sandringham for a day to hang out with Amy and my dad, who are going to be on holiday there next week, and there's potentially one other day when we're out and about as well. So I've realistically got 2 days in like the next 10 to record videos. So it's been a busy day, and because of that I've asked you on Twitter to send me in some Q&A questions. Incredibly short notice, but we're just going to have a little look to see what things people are asking. So Becky is saying, what's the hardest thing to watch Andy go through? Just generally stuff when...
Stand up.
Andy says stand up, he doesn't like stand up. Just things where he doesn't understand what's going on. For example, when he was refusing to go to school and he just didn't understand why he had to go. It didn't make sense that he had to go. There was no explaining it to him. Similar to when the church door was closed like over a year ago and we had that video where we were locked out of the church and he didn't understand why he couldn't go in. There was no explaining to him why he couldn't go in. And it's stuff like that where there's just no way of explaining to him what's going on. That's difficult because sometimes it's just one of those things. He's going to have a rough time. I don't know what Dave is savaging a cushion next to me. As soon as he sees me put the camera on, he decides to start misbehaving because he knows I can't be distracted because I'm filming. He's a monster. Generally the stuff that if there was a way to get him to understand it, it wouldn't be an issue. Ben says, what is the best place I've been to in the UK? I mean, I'm a massive fan of London. I've said quite openly quite a few times that one of my goals in life is at some point I want to be able to live in London. I love London. It's just awesome. There's always something going on. There's always something happening. I'm really excited to be going there for the next few days, even though we're going there. Very different circumstances to however I've been before. In the past, I've always been with Anna. I've never taken the girls overnight to London before. We're not planning any like evening meetups. In fact, nightlife stuff, we're probably not really going to be out much in the evenings because we're going there on a shoestring budget as well, especially with having Blackpool next week. So I guess we're going to be doing London slightly differently to how I've done London before, which should be quite good for me. I love London, I love Manchester, Nottingham's very cool, just generally cities. I'm a big fan of cities, I love cities. James says, do you have any words of wisdom for an aspiring YouTuber or streamer whose dream is to make this a job like yourself? My biggest piece of advice that I can give you is if your dream is to make it something that you do for a living, then you need to take it back a step and make sure that your reasons why you want it to be your job are right. And what I mean by that is my dream wasn't to make doing YouTube the thing that paid my bills. My dream was I wanted to get up every day and be excited and motivated and looking forward to the day that I had ahead. My route to achieving that was by finding a job that I love and making sure that that was the thing that I could pay the bills with, and that just happened to be YouTube. Some people, I think, like the idea of doing YouTube as their job because they see it as easier than the job they do now, or they think it might be more fun, or they want to get famous, or they think they're going to get super rich doing it and it's their route to more money than they earn now. And if they're your reasons for wanting to do YouTube as a job, then you probably won't get there. It needs to be that unquenchable, burning desire to do something you're passionate about and that you love every day, and you won't accept failure, you won't accept not being able to do it, and that then gives you the drive to put in the sheer time and work and effort that is required to get to this point. A couple of things to kind of emphasize that point. Bear in mind that for the first 15 months I was doing YouTube every single day. I was daily from the word go. For the first 15 months of creating content every day, whilst still being a parent to Andy, to the girls, whilst still being a normal functioning human being, whilst still being a full-time teacher, which in itself is a very time-consuming job. Those first 15 months that I was doing this every day as well, I didn't earn a penny. There was no fame and fortune. I didn't earn a penny and almost nobody was watching, and it took a long time to build up to the point where a few people started to watch and I slowly started to get paid. If I was to work out now, I've been a full-time YouTuber for a year now, but if I worked out over the course of, from the moment I started my first channel back in October 2015, if I worked out how many hours I'd put into it and took the total amount of money I've earned from doing it, I would guess I'm still not even close to it being a minimum wage job. So it's not a route to an easier job than a real job, because it's hard. You have to put in 80, 90, 100 hours a week to make a success of it. It's not going to make you richer than your normal job. I was earning a lot more money as a teacher than I am as a YouTuber, but I love my life as it is because I love what I do every day. So if your passion is the work, then it becoming your work should follow. Oh, you got me on one of my bandwagons there. Leggett says, would you consider coming to Brighton on November the 2nd to witness one of the very best British wrestling indie promotions? The simple answer to that is no. Not because I'm not interested in going to Brighton, not because I'm not interested in seeing wrestling, but because November the 2nd is the day Football Manager 2019 comes out, and I need to be at home for the launch of that, because that's the biggest time of the year for my Football Manager channel. So yeah, the second half of October and most of November is a complete write-off for anything, because I will just be knees deep in creating Football Manager content. That was Andy going off to have his bath. Right. That was the quickest Q&A I've ever done. I appreciate there's probably going to be more questions that come in on that, but realistically, like I said before, I've got to edit this vlog, and there's your benefit of following me on Twitter. If you saw it, if you replied in the first 5 minutes, your question got answered. Otherwise, I'll have to wait for the next Q&A. But now I need to get my bag together. What do YouTubers do when they need to get a bag together? That's right, we're going to have a look at what's in my bag. That is what me packed up for a weekend looks like. Which might seem like a lot for you normal people. Carry-on suitcase, backpack, day bag, overnight bag. Remember, I'm not taking 2 big bags full of clothes. This setup, this is basically my travelling office, my travelling workplace. This allows me to pull up at any hotel room in the world and keep this vlog running through with the cameras that I need, the computer that I need, the equipment that I need, everything I need to just keep this rolling through, including spares. This has been honed over the last year and a half. If you've seen the video when we went to Hull last year, there was like 3 big bags. I'm slowly starting to travel lighter. So, to start with, the suitcase. This is basically the only difference between me going overnight somewhere and me going for the day somewhere. And it splits into two. On this side, we just have my clothes. So I usually take, this is Kev's rule of packing, for every day I need t-shirt, shorts or jeans, depending on the time of the year, pants and socks. Plus I add an extra 2 shirts on, an extra 1 pair of pants, an extra 2 pairs of socks. So in there we have a spare pair of shorts identical to the pair I'll be wearing, 5 nerdy t-shirts, gotta stay in uniform, 3 pairs of pants, 3 pairs of socks. That is enough clothes to get me through a weekend and then some. But where this bag becomes important and interesting is on the other side. So firstly, tucked into the front of it, we have emergency coffee, because they never put enough coffee in hotels. They're 2 in 1. They've already got the milk powder mixed in to the coffee powder. That's very important because they never put enough of either. And when I'm away, I'm usually up in the middle of the night editing together vlogs. So this side of the suitcase is literally just cables and spare stuff that might break or get lost or run out of batteries during the normal day. So in here, this is a complete spare camera setup. This is my Canon M50, which is in there. Canon M50 with the spare battery and charger. One of them things for keeping the sun off of it. I forget what they're called, but that will live in there. And if the weekend goes to plan, that will never be opened throughout the weekend. That is there purely for if the ATD that I'm recording on now breaks, gets lost, gets stolen, has some kind of battery or SD card massive failure. I've got that there as a complete backup so the vlog can continue. Likewise, I have a backup GorillaPod. You're on a GorillaPod at the moment. This is a backup one. It's one that's been replaced. It's been rejected for some reason. There you go, that's the reason it's been rejected. It's got a slightly weak joint on the back, so when I'm holding it out in front, it just kind of starts to lean back. But as a backup, it's there as an option. Plus another spare tripod just for time lapses and stuff really. This one folds up nice and small, so this will probably go into my day bag once I've taken some of the bulkier stuff out of it when I get to the hotel. Just so if I'm filming with my hands, I just want to have another camera just set up for a time lapse. I've got that tripod with me. I've then got chargers and spare batteries for all 3 cameras that I'm taking, as well as MacBook charger, iPhone and iPad charger, headphones, very important for editing the vlog. A couple of other spare things that just live in here. Spare travel toothpaste, spare toothbrush in case I forget to pack mine in the morning. Spare microphone batteries, the microphone I'm using now takes 9-volt batteries. They're always running out, so I always keep spares in my suitcase. And of course, spare beard oil. So that all gets zipped up in there, and that's the overnight part. And then we have my normal day-to-day bag. This bag you would have seen in the vlog many times. It is the best bag I've ever owned. It's a Manfrotto one. It was expensive, but worth every penny, mainly because it's half camera bag, half actual useful bag. So if we start off in the camera bag section, which is at the bottom here, sectioned off like a camera bag. I have my big lens for the camera you're on now, just in case I want to film anything that's far away. I have a spare little scuba suit thing for the lens that's on there now, in case I do swap lenses. I have my business cards with sexy YouTube logo on one side, even sexier Kev's face on the other side. And I have my little camera, my trusty Canon G7X, the first camera I ever bought. Because until I started doing vlogging, I'd never really owned a proper camera. Plus spare batteries for both the ATD and the G7X if we run through them during the day. In the front pocket of the bag, we then have 2 essentials. Hand sanitizer, very important for conventions, and lens cleaner, very important for anywhere you take a camera. And then in the top part, it just becomes a normal bag. So I have my hat, I have my sunglasses, I have notebooks, a lanyard in case they give me anything to put on. I have a Peterborough night one to change onto. Battery pack for iPhone, complete with iPhone cable, pens, medication, just generally stuff that you'd put in a normal handbag. And then in the back of the bag, we have the laptop compartment where my iPad Pro and MacBook Pro both live. Work, entertainment, to keep me amused throughout the week. And when I get there, the iPad comes out of this bag and just gets left in the hotel. and that then reduces a little bit of weight, so I can put a spare tripod in there. And that is how I pack for just about every event, convention, overnight stay I ever go on. I will have an identical setup when we go to Blackpool next week. I'll have an identical setup for EGX, for Comic Con, and if you're interested in the specifics of any of the stuff that I've gone through there, it is all on my kit.com page, a link to which you can find down in the description below. So if you want to buy any of this stuff, like the best bag I've ever owned, or, I don't know, camera, you can do it using my affiliate links, because you like helping Kev feed his kids. All of which leads me to the end of this very disjointed, thrown together in the dark vlog. I apologise. The next 10 days of content are going to be so much better than this. We've got 3 days or so in the city, which is going to be awesome. A couple of days back here that I'm already promised are going to include an Andy haircut and some other shenanigans that I can't remember just yet. We've then got 3 days in Blackpool, which is going to be awesome. We've then got another potential road trip for next weekend, plus we're going to Sandringham next weekend as well for the day, and it just keeps getting more and more fun from there. So you'll have to forgive me this one. It was either this or no vlog at all. Mental note for future Kev. This is where you could have put the parenting autism video this week that you told everyone you weren't going to make because you didn't have a slot for it. This was the slot. If you have made it through this far though, thank you. If you have enjoyed it, please make sure you leave a nice big thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel for more daily vlogs, and thank you very much for watching. I now need to unpack my laptop and headphones and stuff to